Okay, I get it. The second soul inside of Ethan. He talked to Ethan for a while. From Ethan's perspective, he just got shunted out at this moment. Either way, they talked to Ethan for a while. Ethan told them like a rundown of everything that happened between Ethan and the Baron. And then he demanded some food, some water, because he was like fucking hungry and thirsty. He was a bit, I guess, ecstatic about the fact that he's able to breathe again. What more? I guess that's about it. The party tried to like make him an honorary member. Either way, it doesn't matter. Then ritual's over. Ethan disappears. Ethan comes back. He almost throws up, but manages to hold it back, I think. And then, they explain to him what happened. They ask him if he's willing to do this shunning thing to get rid of the curse. I don't need to explain the curse, everybody already knows it. Either way, Emperor in his human form walks in after Ethan agrees, because he's overheard everything that's going on. And then Emperor tells Ferdinand to begin with the shunning thing, and Ethan sits on a little stool. The Ferdinand takes away this this chair's leg, turns it into a stake, stabs Ethan in the back, starts the ritual. The group tries to grapple Ethan because he's starting to get a bit restless. There's this weird tattooed kid thing on his back that's all demonic and weird. Tries to escape. It does escape. And then the merchant pops in and he turns it into a gem. Emperor takes the gem. And then we continue on with the ritual. Ethan has minus 14 total permanent HP. And then ritual's over. I'm gonna skip past the rest of the details of the ritual. Ethan faints, meets his brother again in some weird place, and they go for a little walk. Tells him about this shadow transposition thing, gives him a little gift before he leaves, tells him that his soul is now gonna merge with his, but he shouldn't tell everybody else. And then he disappears. Ethan's back up. Fucking hell. Ritual's all over, everything's cool, they're vibing, and Adrian and Master Roam come in, they talk for a little bit, they tell them they're coming for the security meeting, and then they leave. They're all happy and shit. They go back with Kairos to his estate, and then, whilst we're at the estate, we're talking about how long the day has been. The rest of the group decides to fucking walk off to the guest house where they're gonna be sleeping, and just as Argus is walking, he takes a turn in the garden somewhere, I guess whilst heading to the guest house, and he finds himself in a cave. What the fuck was the centipede called? Chrysis, yeah, Chrysis is over there in some big centipede form, and he looks back, and then the Emperor in his human form is there and tells him that he told him that he was gonna talk later, and now he is, and that's where we ended off the session.
Ask if you want to tell more because okay.
I think I went over every detail, maybe.
Okay, so Argus, you're standing there in the cave. In front of you is the Emperor in his human form. As he kind of smirks.
Am I actually here or am I dreaming? What's going on? This is nuts.
A bit of both.
Okay. Alright. So what do you want exactly, or what are we doing?
See the Emperor. He turns around and begins to walk towards what you assume is the exit of the cave because you see a light at the end.
I kind of look at Chrysis. I guess we go.
Chrysis tells you, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah. Argus starts following.
Okay. So you exit into this ginormous expanse. You've been here already. But this time, it's not the same. You don't feel the same connection you felt before. You're there, but you're not as you were before, where you were touching the sand and you were feeling things that you had never experienced before. This time you're just there. It's like you're in the desert. It's like you're standing there. The massive expanse of dunes and sand stretching all the way to the horizon. Nothing else. the wind blowing. The sun is not in its highest peak. It's kind of like cresting. It's afternoon, you assume. And so the Emperor kind of like looks at both of you. So, here we are.
Here we are.
It looks interesting. Time indeed does some weird things.
Time does?
I'm sure you have many questions. And you see him snapping his fingers, make a will save?
All right. 20 plus 17.
So there's like a flash from when the Emperor snaps his fingers, from the snapping, it's like a flash. And then you find yourselves in a camp of some sort. You see a small tent, couple of chairs. At this point, you're not in the same spot. You're in a different spot. Looks like an oasis.
Okay.
There's like a small kind of like body of water. It's not a lake or a river. It's just like a small pond. It's like a palm tree. It's all very scenic in a way. Very landscapey. The Emperor, you see him sitting in one of the chairs, again in his human form, and he kind of like points at the other one. Take a sit.
Is Chris still with me?
Yep, Chris is right behind you. It's
All right.
quiet. I like looking around.
Argus quietly grabs grabs the seat across from him and sits down.
Just kind of like walks a little bit behind you, but he's still standing up in his giant centipede form, kind of like looking around. I thought it'd be more comfortable to, well, have a proper place to have a conversation. I'm sure you might have many, many questions, as do I.
Right.
So,
You first or me first?
you first.
You said child of Rovagug.
Mm-hmm.
I need more specific than that.
Well, that is what you are.
Right.
The child of Rovagug. Are you familiar with the Forsaken, Argus?
Somewhat. Not in detail, just I know Rovagug is one of the Forsaken.
Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the ancient war called the War of the Gods?
I'm familiar with. I don't know about the War of the Gods specifically, just the one with the hands of the matriarch.
They were not the hands of the matriarch. Let's start at the beginning. Long time ago, the people from below sought to extend their power beyond the Underdark. And for that purpose, they struck many alliances, they grew their power immensely, and easily swept away with the incipient and underdeveloped peoples of the surface. They enslaved them, they conquered them. However, the matriarchy's ambitions did not end there. Once their original goal of conquering all of the material plane was accomplished, they turned their gaze beyond. And so they decided that the only course forward was to not just conquer the material plane, but also expand their horizons beyond. And thus the universal plan was born. For the purposes of usurping heaven, the matriarchy did many things. Chief among them was to create beings capable of fighting against the gods themselves. Not an easy task. And one that was to be accomplished at first, slowly and methodically. The being that corrupted your friend was one of those creations. And he kind of looks at you, as was I.
You were... They created you?
Not exactly created. You see, the matriarchy had constructed a device of incredible power. It's called a reality engine. Something capable of altering reality beyond what even the most powerful of magics can do. Using the reality engine, they attempted to bend creation and bring forth creatures that were partly created, partly summoned. Me being one of them.
You're
Another
not...
one.
Hold
Not
on.
what?
You're not fully dragon then, or
Oh no, I
just
am a dragon.
different type of dragon, something that's completely unique?
The name bestowed upon me, or my kind, before we went almost extinct, was astral dragons.
Astral dragon. Okay.
Another such summoning was the beings you know as the Outer Merchants. However, this first, let's call it iteration of beings, was not as subservient as the matriarchy expected.
Okay.
The merchants openly rebelled against the matriarchy. And that was what started the ancient war, the War of the Gods. Some of my kind sided with the merchants, others sided with the matriarchy. I myself chose the former. And for that sin, I was trapped in here for the longest time. But that's a story for another day.
All right. So if I'm putting the pieces together correctly, a child of Rovagug was also one of these creations.
Yes. However, you came later. Those alliances and bargains struck with the Forsaken enabled the matriarchy to wield powers beyond that of just using the reality engine, a tool that even though they had created, they hadn't yet mastered. And so beings like you and those afflicted with the curse of the blood, much like Kairos and your companion Damien, were created. Or rather, their forebears, your forebearers. However, the methods of creation differed wildly. In the case of your friend Damien, they went through a much unstable process. And thus, they became much more unstable creatures. In your particular case, you are the result, or rather, what you were meant to be. You were a result of a pact the Matriarchs made with Rovagug, the Worm of Destruction. You were to become their avatars, beings of extraordinary power driven by only one desire: destruction. Many of you were sent into the battlefields during the Ancient War. Many of you died.
So, Chrysis has kind of always been a part of me then. Or was meant to be a part of me. It wasn't just a pure accident.
That is where my question comes in. What are you familiar with in terms of your current state, in terms of your creation?
My creation. Chrysis... When I look at Chrysis, he's... As far as I'm aware, he's an extension of my will to a degree, but also somewhat his own being. He, well, I can wield him like a weapon, obviously. I can use my magic the same way I would with a normal weapon, just through him.
Yes, but in that regard, I'm referring to, do you have any recollection on how you were created? How you came upon Chrysis?
Oh. Well, if you know of our escapades in Senhartan, before all of that, before I met this group, I fled Senhartan. And I found myself deep in the desert, and I don't really remember much after that. Once they found me after they killed a scorpion. Apparently I appeared from the body of the scorpion. And that's also where they found an artifact that what was his name? One of the enlightened ones took away.
Interesting.
He said the artifact was a catalyst or a remnant of an ancient weapon.
He was correct.
Would this be something part of the reality engine?
Derived of, yes.
Okay.
After the attempted summonings of beings, the matriarchy decided to switch strategy. And as they were getting to know the reality engine a bit better, they decided to use it to craft wondrous objects of incredible power. The catalysts were a favorite device amongst all of the ones they fabricated. Imbued with the power of deities, it was able to channel energies in a multitude of ways, its versatility being probably its chief advantage in comparison to other ones. It was a devastating weapon when unleashed, capable of bringing out the darkest of fears and the most abominable of creatures, at the same time making the user capable of wielding the most terrible of magics. It was indeed a weapon of mass destruction, concentrated in a single goblet-sized object.
Okay.
You say you were lost in the Senhatan Desert. For how long?
Oh, it's maybe about a year is what my best guess.
Do you have any recollection of the time differential between when your friends found you and, well, you lost track of time, to put it in a way?
Not really. It was just kind of dark, and then I woke up.
What have you asked?
What have I asked? Chrysis?
Chrysis was like, not me. Yes, I'm talking about, have you asked how much time has passed since you were last conscious of your own existence, and now, or the moment where you were found?
I haven't. I didn't know. Would you know that, Chrysis?
Me? No.
No. I didn't ask. Who would I ask?
You said you were lost for a year, or you said you were roaming the desert for like a year. After that, time must have passed.
Right.
Who would you ask? I don't know, perhaps the people who knew you.
Nobody knew me. All the people I knew are gone or dead or living another life somewhere.
Okay. So it all seems to point at the fact that Your essence and somehow the catalyst are related. Is there anything you remember? Anything at all? It is important.
I had a dream at one point. It wasn't me in the dream. It was following a centipede, kind of like Chris's. It was running through the desert for the longest time until it stumbled upon a cave. And it crawled into something, like a bowl shape, before I think there was fire and some lightning. Something was going on. And that's when the dream ended.
Mm-mm. Before we proceed, do you have any more questions?
If I'm a child of Rovagug, does that mean I'll be evil? Do I have a choice in that matter?
Luckily for you, you're an incomplete child of Rovagug. You see, the thing that is most curious about your power, or rather your essence, your unique circumstance, is the fact that you are not connected to Rovagug's will. In that regard, you have the capability, or rather the potential, of wielding power beyond that which you would think is attainable at your present point in time. But that power itself does not represent you're shackled to Rovagug's will. Otherwise, you wouldn't be the way you are.
So it's more like I have like a backdoor access to his power. I can draw from his power type deal.
I wouldn't call it a backdoor, and I wouldn't call it drawing from his power. The avatars of destruction of Rovagug were created by Rovagug, most certainly, given the ability to wield powers, but in the case of someone that wields the etheric energies of arcane magic, you don't draw power from other beings.
Right.
You draw power from the ether, the arcane energies that surround creation.
So
You're not
is this more,
connected to Rovagug.
this is more of a something atop of the already arcane magic I wield. Then it's not necessarily connected to Rovagug, but it's
You're viewing it in the wrong way. It's something that is meant to enhance what you can already do.
okay. That makes more sense. So then, how do I can tap into this power further, but how?
You can't. That is the point of me being here. Tell me,
Okay.
Argus, what is your goal in life?
My goal in life right now is to stop the hand of the matriarch, or at least the hand that we're dealing with right now. Kill Baron. Kill as many as possible of them.
And after that?
I don't know. I haven't thought it through too much, but I guess I have some ideas.
Please do share.
Well, it's more to do with whatever our group wants to do after that, if I'm still alive. If they want to continue adventuring, I'll follow them. But if they don't, I might set off and do my own thing. Maybe start up a shop again. I'm not very good at enchanting, but I'm sure I can find somebody who's good and needs something, or I don't know. Maybe start my own adventuring group. Maybe like the guild, but not the guild, you know. I don't know. But right now, in the present moment, there's so much more going on. All of those ideas are far off. May not even happen.
Indeed. So, what would you say If someone would tempt you with the power of the gods,
Tempt me with the power of the gods.
mhm,
That seems like something beyond my power to wield.
would you think if someone were to tell you you can be a god?
I would call them crazy. I am no god. I'm a mortal, a human. It's very
Indeed.
difficult for me to be the perfect personification of any will or anything.
Ah, yes. Strange thing about gods, is it not? They seem so perfect.
They do.
They seem so unreachable.
The matriarchs seem to have disagreed.
Because the matriarchs knew. They knew. The gods are nothing more than the embodiment of different aspects of reality. They're not meant to be perfect. In a way, gods can be equated to a natural phenomena, just on a much, much larger scale and with a conscience of their own. They are, by natural order, bound to perform certain functions, to uphold a certain balance. And yes, their power is great, but it's not all-knowing, all-wise, and all-powerful.
But these powers are what keep our reality our reality.
Certainly. The relationships and entanglements between the different deities, the way they interact, the way they flow through existence is what binds our reality together. Is what keeps this existence from not collapsing onto itself and into nothingness. They dance a very delicate piece. There's an edge, thin as a thread, sharp as the sharpest of razors. And here we are, dealing with things that are meaning to uphold or upset that balance. So, Argus, if you were given the chance to unmake that which has already been made, what would you do?
To unmake it? It depends, right? If what was made is upsetting the balance, then to protect this reality, sure, but
Wouldn't you want to unmake it? To claim back that which was wrongfully taken from you? Your family, your legacy, your life? Wouldn't you be tempted to take all of that back?
It's not it's definitely tempting, but without any of that happening, without any of those hardships, my life would be completely different. I wouldn't even know how to envision my life past that. And I wouldn't... It would probably mean I wouldn't have met my current friends. Practically my family. At this point. I wouldn't have been able to help them. They're young. They need someone to guide them. Who would take my spot then? Would they even be down this same path?
Who knows? But don't you feel any regret?
Regret with my family? Sure, there is some, but I laid those stones to rest.
Indeed you have. Well. Very well. I cannot walk you through your path. That is something only you can do. But if you're willing, I can show you the door.
This path is not safe, I'm imagining.
Not entirely, no.
Going down this path, I'm sure you won't be able to tell me exactly what I'll get or receive or what may happen, may not happen. But it'll help us, right? If. Maybe.
Whether or not it will help, it's up to you. As for the nature of the path itself, it is sadly something that is an unknown to both of us. However, times do call for drastic changes of thought in regards to the way we face against the matriarchs. Your willingness to face them, or rather the hands, is indeed something I am most interested in.
Many lives have been sacrificed, both on our hands and their hands. I think there should be something to put an end to it. Will Chrysis be with me, or is this a path I walk alone, truly? I guess you probably wouldn't know.
Sadly, I do not know. The relationship between you and Chrysis is unique. Because what links you to the power of Rovagug is not like, well, the avatars I have encountered in the past.
What's the difference?
Then again, you're incomplete.
Right. Would this path make me a complete avatar?
No. But it
Okay.
will allow you to tap onto more of the, I believe it could allow you to tap onto more of the avatar's gifts or curses. Depends.
I look at Chrysis. Chrysis, do you have any say?
I'm with you, boss. Whatever it leads.
Argus nods. Show me the door then.
You see the Emperor standing from his chair. See him basically blink out of existence. And you look up and you see the same kind of like blinking outside, like up in the sky, this giant dragon form open his wings as the sun begins to crest over the horizon, setting. You hear a voice booming around you. This is going to hurt a little bit. You see the dragon inhale as you're standing there, and in a blink of an eye, just below, this crackling blue energy from its mouth as it just hits you straight on. Make a fortitude saving throw.
All right. 22.
22. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. So I'm going to roll it.
Okay.
You're gonna die.
Yes. You take 67 points of damage.
Oh shit! I'm unconscious.
Okay.
Holy shit!
What was your save? 22, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you take 67 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah. Very unconscious.
You fall completely unconscious. And you find yourself, as you're basically staggering unconscious and you hit the sand, you find yourself not completely devoid of your senses. You kind of like feel almost as if the sand begins to like envelop you entirely. You're wrapped into this very comfortable cocoon. It's itchy, but it's weirdly familiar. And you begin to feel the sensation that you are at home. Make a will save.
All right. 20.
So, you kind of like sink deeper into this sensation of comfort until you find yourself opening your eyes and you're running. You're running through the desert. Your breath, you're hyperventilating. And as soon as you regain consciousness, what do?
I regain consciousness. I look around. I'm in the desert, right?
You look around, yeah, you're in the desert.
Is Chrysis with me?
No.
I try to call out to him in my head.
Nothing.
Which, do I know which direction I was running?
Make a perception check.
Okay. 28.
So, you kind of like look back from where you were running. It's just the empty expanse of the desert. It's just desert all over the place. You look forward, and what you see before you is what looks to be an old, kind of like jagged structure. It seems like a decrepit temple almost. Parts of it are collapsed onto itself. Structures of it are kind of like sinked halfway through the sand. So what do?
Do I see an entrance to the temple?
You see the structure, but you're not close enough yet so that you can see
Okay.
the entrance.
I'll keep on running towards it.
Okay. Kind of like run towards it. Make a fortitude saving throw.
All right. 12.
Run and run and run until your legs begin to give in from underneath you. Everything begins to hurt. Your body begins to hurt. How many points under 0 health points you were?
Let's see, 67. I am 10 points under.
You take 2 points of psychic damage. So add that to the amount you have underneath or beneath your.
Oh,
your
okay.
hit points.
Gotcha.
So
Fuck.
you kind of like feel the pain. It kind of hurts you. That's like for some weird reason you begin to bleed out of your nose. It's hard to breathe. You kind of like take a moment to like take a rest, and then you continue to move toward the temple. This time walking. Takes you a fair bit, but you make it there. Standing before you is this majestic structure, forgotten to the sands of time. You look at it, it's partially synced on the sand. But you do, however, make out an entrance. It's kind of like weird. It's not big, the hole that you can walk inside of. But you think you can fit in. So what do?
Do I see any scripture anywhere or writing on any of the broken down, any statue symbols?
Make a perception check.
Okay. 13.
You cannot make out if there is writing itself. Again, like most of it is either eroded partially or completely, or just sunk beneath the sand, or just part of this kind of mount of collapsed rubble that reveals an image that resembles an old forgotten temple, but it's not exactly in standing shape.
Okay. I'll
So
go
you
through
cannot
that.
see anything, any symbols or any writing. Okay, you go through the entrance. You kind of go through the entrance, and as you pass through it, make a will save.
Fuck. All right. 8. Oh shit.
Okay, 8. You take 3 points of psychic damage as you walk through it.
Oh fuck.
Add that to your total.
All right.
You kind of like make it through. And you find yourself in front of a giant staircase that descends. The spots of it that it's got like pockets of sand. But it's this weirdly off-putting notion of you crawled through, not crawled, but you went through a relatively tiny hole. What lies before you is enormous. It's a giant staircase down.
Is there light in this temple, or is it dark?
At this point, there is enough light to reveal. Give me a second. Future, mute yourself.
I mute him.
So there is light at the entrance. You know, again, it's like the sun is cresting over the horizon. It's almost night, but there's light that filters through the entrance, and you can see the staircase. But beyond a certain point, I'd say some 30 feet in front of you, you can't see anything else.
All right. I'm gonna preemptively grab a rock and cast light on it, and then I'm gonna head down the staircase.
So you grab a rock, and when you try to cast light on it, nothing happens.
Fuck. Shake my head a little bit. Fine. And I descend down the staircase.
Okay. So as you descend down the staircase, make a reflex saving throw.
Oh shit, okay. 16.
Okay. You descend down the staircase, and you begin to slowly, kind of like as the dark envelops you, kind of like hold on to one of the walls of the staircase, and very carefully, making sure that you don't slip, you don't fall, step on each step at a time. As you descend, the level of dampness in this place, the level of moist increases. Everything becomes much more slippery. It's not something you can see, but it's something you can sense. The smell, the touch, like the wall. However, you finish descending the staircase, and you find yourself in front of a very, very large mausoleum. Make a perception check.
All right. 29.
Okay. So, this is a giant kind of like place. It's essentially a promenade whose ceiling you cannot even see. You cannot see the top. You see giant pillars that go up. Pillars that are heavily decorated. There's pictures and depictions and stuff like that. And at the center of this giant space, you see as chains coming from different parts of the room encase what looks to be a giant energy something. It looks like a cage. As you move forward a little bit more, you find that this giant promenade is actually circular, like encircling this weird, ginormous place. There's a chasm And off into the distance, this giant prison. You kind of like stand and look around, and at this point, the light is not regular light. It seems as if almost you're looking at a reflection or something, or basically like this weird hues that touch the surfaces and allow you to see, but you don't feel like you're really seeing. It's a very off-putting sensation. It's almost as if your eyes suddenly turn into a like a Doppler radar,
Okay.
and you're watching this in a very kind of like weird, from a very weird perspective.
Right. If I look down the chasm, does it go so far that I can't see the bottom?
Yeah.
Does it sound like winds passing through the chasm?
You don't detect any wind at all.
Okay. And you said there was like a prison, right?
Yes.
I'll start heading towards the prison.
Basically, you kind of like start circling around this giant chasm. The prison is in the middle between you, the chasm. And so, like, you kind of like begin to like circle it around. Make a will save. Looking for an entryway into this place.
21.
21. So you kind of like begin to circle it. You don't see any entrance opening up. You circle all the way around it. It takes you the better part of an hour to go from the place where you were standing at the entrance of the staircase to getting to the edge of this giant mausoleum where the chasm begins and you can see the prison off in the distance, and basically circle it around to the other side. That's how big this place is.
Jeez.
The person is enormous. You cannot make what's inside of it, but you see these giant chains, bigger than anything you've ever seen. It's basically tying to it. And as you're kind of like going off into the back, or through one side of this giant, basically circle, you sense a voice in your head. Ah, my wayward child. You hear the chains as they shake. Good. You will serve. And at this point, you kind of like standing there, you hear this voice, and you feel this shifting presence like behind you.
I look behind me.
You look behind you, you kind of like see this giant centipede as it rises behind you. Part of its body basically moving towards the side, almost like encircling you. And you hear the familiar voice of Chris's. Piss off. It's not your prey. As Chris is basically almost like envelops you with a very kind of like protective stance, as he's just trying to protect you. You hear the voice once again. Reckless. Fool. Consequences. And as he says consequences, you feel Chris is basically be blown away. Disappearing towards basically the back of you into, well, something you can't see. You kind of like look back and Chris just disappears into the darkness. Listen to me, child. Give in. Undo the chains. One at a time.
No, don't think I'm going to do that. Who are you? What are you?
I am you. And as he says you, make a will save.
Fuck. 9.
Okay. So as it says, you kind of like get yourself dizzy. You take 6 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Oh.
You feel yourself kind of like dizzying, kind of like you kind of like you don't have control of your body, and you see as this is happening, like almost like a bridge of this crackling energy builds and begins to link the chasm or the edge of the chasm where you are towards the prison. Make a will save for Chris's.
Oh shit, okay. Chris's will save is... Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. 7.
Okay. You see the bridge begin to form even more defined, more tangible as the bridge basically finishes linking where you are and where this giant prison is. Your feet begin to move towards it, just completely on their own.
Oh shit.
You're still feeling dizzy. You cannot find purchase in anything. Like your vision is clouded. You see this weird kind of like cornucopia of lights, and this weird way you're perceiving this place is confusing you. And you just continue to move forward. As you're halfway through the bridge, make a will save.
27.
So at this point, as you're halfway through the bridge, you stop yourself.
Why should I
breath.
release?
Because I will give you power beyond imagining. I will give you the gift of a god. And as he says that, you feel as this weird crackling energy bridge begin to crack.
Argus is gonna. He's gonna go back the way he came. He doesn't want to cross this bridge. I start walking back. No. The power of a god.
Start walking back the bridge. You actually now feel it. The crackling energy. The bridge is beginning to crack. You continue to walk.
Yeah, I continue walking back.
The bridge keeps on cracking. Make a reflex saving throw.
All right. 2.
Basically, your leg, as you're walking, one of your legs falls inside the bridge. As you're stuck in there, you see now the bridge is beginning to collapse. From the end where the prison is, it's just beginning to collapse. And you hear the voice in your head again. Well, then you shall die. Make a strength check.
Fuck. Okay. Argus is. Please load faster. Yeah. 21.
So as you're seeing the bridge collapsing, you gotta unlodge your leg, like pull it. You unlodge it from the hole it was trapped into. You continue to walk.
Fuck. The bridge is like collapsing, right?
Yep, collapsing.
And I'm already further away from halfway. I'm just. How far back am I to getting back to where I started?
I'd say you're about 200 meters.
Argus
Make
left.
an intelligence check for Chris's.
Oh, okay. All right, Chris's, come on. 19.
Okay, you hear another voice in your head. Run!
Argus starts running.
As you basically just fucking book it, the bridge begins to collapse now. At first, the collapse was slow. Now it's even more rocks, not rocks like this, kind of like pieces of energy that look like rocks. You begin to fall. Now you see that basically this entire chamber, this ginormous chasm begins to shake and tremble. However, you continue to run. This time you just book it. You make it to the edge, away from the bridge. The bridge collapses, but the chamber continues to break. In your head, the booming voice, "You will die." As the chamber shakes, the chains, you see them kind of like twist, get stretched, stress out, but they don't give in. The prison is holding whatever this thing that was inside of it is. And you kind of like turn around. What do as the cave continues to collapse?
I tell it, whatever power you have to offer me, I don't want to be a god. I have my goals in place.
Reflex saving throw.
Reflex saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
You got it. 13.
Okay, so by just an inch, a giant rock falls next to you, like you avoided by inches.
Shit. I call it the Christmas. Christmas, where are you?
No answer.
Fuck. I guess. Oh shit. I start leaving the temple. I guess.
What do you mean by leaving the temple?
It's all falling apart right now, right? Everything's
chamber where you are, again, like for you, it's basically everything because the size is immense. It's falling apart. In order for you to leave the temple, you will have to run around. Exactly.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Shit. I'm not going to let you out, but you're going to give me whatever power I want. I don't know what you are or who you are, even if you are me. But whatever power you have, I'm going to use to stop the matriarchs.
You hear a booming laughter crackling around the cave. You ant. You will die. Make a reflex saving throw and make a perception check.
All right. Reflex saving throw is a 4, and then the perception check is a 28.
Okay. So you take 2 points of psychic damage as basically a rock falls straight on your back. Hits you and you're like, However, you kind of like in desperation, you look around and you do see that the edges of like this place, they are undefined. It's just darkness, what goes beyond. However, you do see what looks to be as basically your vision is giving this kind of like weird hues reflecting on like the different structures and surfaces. You do see a weird hue towards a place that is directly behind you. Something that seems to continue on beyond this ginormous chamber.
That's the only thing I see. I start heading towards that way.
Other than the things you were seeing before, that's the only thing you see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna head that way.
Okay.
I'll start running.
Head that way. Okay, you run. So you begin to run that way. As you feel that more rocks fall behind you, you kind of like walk, and it is a weird sensation because you're not seeing it, but you feel the fact that this entire kind of like cave enclosure becomes smaller. It's almost if you went through an entrance of some sort that kind of like narrows the path. You don't see the edges of the walls, but you do feel that the shaking is or has diminished a little bit. And also behind you, you feel as rocks fall and cover basically the place where you were coming from. As you can no longer hear the crackling voice of a crackling laughter. And the shakes eventually diminish, and they stop. And you find yourself in this empty void that at the same time seems not big, but very, very compressing.
I call it Chrysis, are you here?
Are you saying it out loud or are you calling it in your head?
In my head.
You hear nothing.
I'll say it out loud this time. Chrysis, are you in here?
Make a perception check.
All right. 18.
You gotta like stand there for like a moment, and hear what looks to be like an echo, but it's so far off that you don't even recognize the voice.
Don't even. Did I hear which direction it was from?
It's an echo. It kind of like it's kind of goes past you, but it's so faint that you cannot make out what it is exactly.
Fuck. I'm gonna try and cast light again on anything I have. Does it work, or can I still not use magic?
You kind of like touch your forehead, trying to cast light on your turban. Doesn't work.
Shit. I feel this place is smaller. I'll try and find an edge of the room, I guess, if I can.
Kind of like begin to touch around in this complete and utter void, and make a perception check.
Okay. 14.
Okay. You kind of like begin to kind of like it takes you a while because it's very disorienting, and at this point, you also kind of like begin to lose your sense of direction. Like you begin to lose your point of reference, like where you came from, where you go. Eventually, you find perches on the edge, and again, it's this weird, incredibly smooth, what looks to be stone, because it feels like stone, but it's incredibly smooth. And you kind of like run along it, and you find some like jagged points in the stone, but like again, you're not used to like not seeing, and it just feels very weird.
I call out to Chrysis again. Chrysis!
Make a perception check.
Alright. 17.
Again, the echo washes over you. Very distant, very faint. There's an echo. When you say Chrysis, there's an echo back. But you cannot make out what it is.
Shit.
What do you do?
I'm gonna follow the edges until... Or I'll follow the wall until I feel an opening.
All of you 100.
Alright. 38.
Yeah. So you begin to follow the wall, and you begin to follow it, and an eternity of time, what it seems to you, goes by. Make a will save.
26.
Okay. So you begin to feel almost as if your body starts to age. Like you feel that time is just different. In here, time is just it's not the way you had experienced time go by before. There's no date, there's no night, but you spent an entire, what looks to be an eternity, blinded, kind of like without being able to see, just holding on to these rocks and running across the wall. You feel no hunger, you feel no thirst, but you do feel that a long, long time goes by to the point where you age. So for the purposes of this, from now on, you have one more age increment to what you already have. So let's say if you were mature, you are now old. If you were old, you're now venerable for the purposes of stats.
Cool. I'm venerable now. Alright. Oh, shit. Okay, alright. I didn't find any opening or anything. I'm just walking around for eternity in here.
You're just walking a never-ending this never-ending kind of like weirdly encapsulating space that is just you can't see, but you can feel.
I like cry out, "Let me out!"
Make a perception check.
All right. 14.
Again, the echo washes over you. A distant echo. You've done it dozens, if not hundreds of times. Every time you do it, it's the same thing. It's the same answer.
Shit. Okay, some parts were jagged, some parts were really, really smooth. Did any of the other parts were just jagged, right? They didn't really...
You feel, again, you're not seeing it, and you don't
Right.
have blind sight. So you, like for you, trying to discern a shape is difficult because you're not used, you depend too much on your eyesight.
Yeah.
So when you're touching things, it's incredibly smooth until it basically jags to like a very abrupt kind of like structure, almost like a sharp edge. And then it just, it goes like that for a little while, and then it just continues to smooth out. And at some points, like you try to make out a certain, how can I put this? A certain rhythm to it, a certain cadence, but it doesn't have any. Sometimes the jagged edges come quicker. Sometimes you kind of like go up and you go down into the wall and you feel the same sensation. Almost as if the environment around you was not fixed. Was
Are the
changing
jagged...
constantly.
it's changing constantly. Shit.
It feels like it's changing constantly because you cannot...
Right.
Kind of like when you touch an object and you run along it without seeing it, you can detect certain textures and you can detect certain things. However, it stays like that. This particular place, you've run across even in the same location multiple times, and you felt different things.
Are the jagged edges, are they like big? Are they big enough for me to step onto?
You don't know.
I'll try and find a jagged edge again.
You kind of like touch it, you find a kind of like a jagged portion of this kind of like wall.
And then I'll try and find the top portion of it and like, because these protrude pretty far as I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and find the top portion of it and see if I can try and like climb up to it and see if I can feel any like surface up there for me to step onto.
Okay, go with it.
Okay. 20 plus. Did my will save change? No, it did not. 15.
Okay, so you kind of like begin to like touch across the wall until you find a jagged edge. You kind of like hold it. You touch it, you move upwards, 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 upwards. And just when you thought you were cresting over it, you move your hand kind of like to grasp, and the wall is flat again.
The wall is flat again.
Mm-hmm. You
Can I grasp?
You move along and you find another jagged edge. You do the same thing. And just when you try to hold it, it just goes flat again.
Oh, shit.
It is incredibly off-putting. Again, you're feeling something jagged, something you can find some purchase in, and then it's gone. There is no sound, there is no nothing. Just the sensation of it being there and then not being there.
Does it ever come back?
You go back to the same place, or you think you go back to the same place you were, and at some points it comes back, and at some points it doesn't come back. You try to find the purchase point, it goes away.
I'm not supposed to crawl out of here, I guess. What am I supposed to do? Shit. If I take off like my turban and I place it right in front of my feet, does it still appear or does it disappear?
You can't like take off your turban, you don't even see your turban. You don't even see your hands.
Oh,
You're
shit,
feeling
okay.
things. This void is so dark you can't see anything. You're feeling things that you're touching, but that's it.
I'm gonna knock on the wall. Do I hear any echoes? Do I hear any... Does it sound solid?
You knock on the wall. It sounds solid enough, just like, again, incredibly smooth rock. You
I don't
hear.
feel. Go on.
What do you. What
I
now?
was gonna ask if I felt any like wind or anything. Just complete void.
Nothing.
Fuck.
Complete emptiness. So what do you do?
Let me go look at what I have in my inventory real quick.
So,
Okay. 15.
okay. Again, you stay there, and at some point, you feel afraid because time, you begin to sense it now, is moving even while you're standing still. You feel yourself aging, inching closer to your mortality.
I'm gonna try and use. Can I even do that? Can I use an arcane pull point to enhance my fist? I don't think I. Let me go read. Can I even use an arcane pull point?
You could theoretically, you still have your arcane pull. You still
Yeah.
feel that you still feel that you have your energies, like your magic and all that stuff, but it's just, it won't come out.
It just won't come out. Ah, shit. Wait, can I feel... Chris's has an arcane pool. Can I feel Chris's arcane pool?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So he's not... Shit. What can I even do with that?
You can sense Chris's. Chris's is not gone. You can
Right.
sense Chris's.
Unbreakable. I just can't communicate with him unless it's verbally.
I mean, you do not know, but you've tried and you've been unable to.
Yeah. Is there Oh, I don't have. I'm gonna try and give Chrysis a command to spend one of his arcane pull points to basically buff himself. It's Black Blade Strike. It just gives him +1 damage for 1 minute. Do I feel any difference in his arcane pool?
You do feel that whatever you kind of like thought had an effect. Make a perception check.
Okay. $25.
Okay. So at this point, you kind of like hear this rattling of chains. Something seems to be struggling.
I start heading towards the rattling.
Okay. You begin to head towards the rattling, now more assured in the way you're stepping in. And as you're kind of like heading, you do see that the void begins almost to clear, in a sense. It begins to clear, and the Doppler radar vision you had before comes back to you. You kind of like look to the ground. This weird enclosure, Adrian. It's like a circular cave, but the walls are not the walls of a cave. It seems constructed, but at the same time it doesn't, because now you look at, and now what you're seeing is essentially the jagged edges you thought you were touching actually shift in and out, forward and back, and you see that almost as if with breathing, the wall is creating these jagged edges by essentially contracting and expanding on its own, almost as if the place itself was breathing. However, you kind of like continue to move forward until you find yourself in a much smaller chamber. Very similar to the one you saw before, but this one is much, much, much smaller. There is a kind of like the circular chamber. This time you can make out its entire shape, and there's like a small prison in the middle. And there's again another small chasm. This time it's a bit smaller that separates where you're standing with the energy prison that is bound in chains.
I call out, Chrysis, are you in there?
Make a will save for Chrysis.
Oh, okay. Chrysis is... yeah. Chrysis got a 24.
Okay. You don't hear anything, but you do hear a shifting of the chains as if they stretch almost to a breaking point, but they don't break. However, you see the cage kind of begin to rattle a little bit.
Do I sense... I guess I probably can't sense the direction Chrysis is in.
You can, actually.
Oh, shit, okay. Do I sense Chrysis in the cage?
You never asked that before. Yes, you sense Chrysis in the cage.
Okay.
You never asked that before.
I've never, yeah. I look at the chains. Are they like up on pillars on
The places in which the chains find purchase, make a perception check.
All right. 16.
Are beyond your line of sight.
Fuck.
They go off into the roof and like into the chasm, deep into the chasm. And they go off into the sides of this chamber. And the ones that go off into the side, they seem to meld into the edges of the chamber, but not in a way that they're basically anchored there. They just go beyond.
Okay. I walk to the edge where the chasm is, and I look for any indication of like that energy bridge that appeared in the other room.
Okay, so you walk on looking for the bridge, and as soon as you step to the edge, the bridge forms.
I go across it.
You cross the bridge. Make a will save as you're crossing the bridge.
All right. 27.
Okay. So as you're crossing the bridge, you hear a voice in your head. Disobedient. Mark my words. I will leave this prison, and I will devour you and your world soon enough. I am Rovagog, and I am destruction incarnate. As you move forward defiantly across the bridge, you stand before Chrysis' prison. What do?
I touch the prison. Does it? There's no opening.
I need both you and Chrysis to make a will save.
Oh shit, okay, here's my will save. D20 plus 7. Argus gets an 18, and Chrysis gets a 16.
As you basically touch the prison, there's a jolt of energy that goes through your body. However, you kind of like hold it, and almost as if out of instinct, you begin to channel that energy from the body that is trying to escape your body towards the prison again. Almost as if trying to convey it away. At this point, you hear a crackling of thunder in your hand. The prison shakes and completely shatters, breaking. The chains basically melt under the pressure of what now is a localized thunderstorm that is enveloping this entire chamber. As you see Chrysis be released from the chains, and in your head you hear, "It's about damn time." You see him running towards you. He kind of like embraces you, envelops around you, and you feel this odd sensation you've never experienced before. You're like Chrysis' body melding with yours. As this storm rages even further, the chamber now begins to shake, and you see as basically the lightning crackles through an unseen roof, and you see fragments of light begin to basically illuminate everything more and more frequently as your skin gets fused with Chris's. You feel Chris's scales running across your skin. At some point, your body even heightens in size, now containing both you and Chris's. You look at your hands and at your body as your clothes is ragged and completely torn asunder, as now your skin is Chris's skin and Chris's skin is your skin. You feel this incredible moment of connection, and then a bright spark of thunder just falls on your fist. The energy is stronger than anything you've experienced before. A weird sense of elation comes to you. You feel this immense power, this incredible sensation of you being able to do basically anything. And you kind of like clench your fist. What do?
Oh shit. We're still on the prison platform. I clench my fist. I aim it. Fuck. Can I? I don't know. Can I? I'm gonna aim it towards the direction of Rovagug.
Okay, so you turn back. You hear in your head, piss off. And you kind of like punch the air. And as you punch the air, the immediate, basically space in front of you cracks as this giant, just boom of thunder just hits. At this point, you do feel the air flowing from you towards this entire place. And as the thunder moves, you feel it. You see it. The thunder that comes off your fist crackles through this entire chamber into the cave, through the cave, and basically hits Rovagog's prison. As then the thunder materializes into another chain that goes into basically the endless void. As you've added another shackle to Rovagog's prison.
Oh shit!
At that point, the thunderstorm that is localized around you intensifies even further, and the entire room basically unmakes itself. And you find yourself in the middle of the desert, standing as the Dragon Emperor descends. His shape shifts into that of a human. He looks at you and smiles. Congratulations, Ascended. And he snaps his fingers, and you find yourself back in the garden in the Kairos estate. We're gonna take a little break. However, Super Dino.
Yes.
Congratulations. You may now add 1 tier of mythic power to your character.
Holy shit! God.
No way! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Wait, so we have a god in the party now? Or mythic
Yes.
adventure at least.
Mythic.
God damn.
So, do you know what mythic tier is?
Yeah, I know what the thing here is.
Okay, so
I
you may
do
add
not-
one. So you may add 1 tier of mythic power to your character.
Okay.
You may add your
Jesus
first
Christ.
mythic tier. Your path is the path of the Archmage.
Oh, okay.
That is going to be your path. But you may add 1 mythic tier to your character.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
oh my
A
god.
mythic at level 8?
Oh shit!
Be right back.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Holy shit. Yeah, we have a god now.
Can I get some explanation as to what a mythic tier is?
Okay, mythic tier, as far as I know. Remember when I was like 1v1ing you, I was talking about mythic vampire and mythic bullshitry and mythic this, right? It's basically like the peak form of some aspect, or whatever. Think of it like as being a demigod. It's basically that. He is now literally a demigod.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Look at Mythic Adventures and
considered
D20 PXRD.
After that nightmare that he just endured.
He's literally a god now, kinda. He's pretty much a god though. He's ascended. The dragon literally said that he's ascended.
Hey yo, my bitch ascended.
Bro, Argus is literally yeah, he's a god.
Become a god.
A god at level 8, holy shit.
Main demigod. Whatever.
He literally shackled. He added more shackles onto whatever the fuck his name was, Rovagug. He was able to further imprison another god.
Hot damn.
That is insane. Holy shit. Yeah. Okay. We can now further we can announce the most broken dude in the party, Argus.
Yep.
Holy shit. Dude, this party is the most convoluted, weird shit I've ever seen. We have a Dragonborn, which is Davian. We have Swashbuckler dude who's really good at using a sword. Cool, Devan. We have an enlightened one. We have a literal god.
Just call me a pot. Just call me basically a med bot because that's all. So fucking Uthark is at this point.
Uthark, the enlightened one. And then we have literally a god. And then
I basically only played Uthark as a med bot because I really not had any other use.
maybe.
Fucking Namfoodle has had more use, and all he did was fucking catch a food out of the air.
What more do we have? Lawrence, some guy who's cursed by a fucking merchant. And then Athan, some dude who reality doesn't like or comprehend. By the way, we have a god.
Yeah, we got it.
Holy shit. Bro. Chico, how does it feel
What?
to be the, leader of a group where a god is literally your subordinate?
I mean, it's still not a god. A fully god is a demigod still.
Yeah, pretty much. But, still, it's a mythic tier. Holy shit.
Oh, we got a mythic, guys. We got a mythic.
We got a mythic. Damn. Holy shit. Dude, would Aspect of the Dragon be mythic then?
Who
Huh.
knows?
Well, I mean, we don't know, but maybe.
Path of the Archmage.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So it's not destruction. Destruction must have been if he actually, accepted the deal.
No, that is destruction. I'm guessing Path of the Archmage is destruction. For him, at least. Because he just used the thing that, Ronan showed in the GIF. That lightning beam bullshitry that's able to shackle Rovagug, kinda. Holy shit, goddamn. Yeah, Archmage, Arcana, and Path ability. He has an Arcane Surge. Ooh, that is...
Mystic paths.
Yep. Goddamn. First tier. Okay, then that's third tier. I accidentally skipped second tier. There was second tier. What's that stuff? First tier. Why does it go from first to third? What the fuck am I missing? Weird. Still, goddamn.
We have a god in between us.
Treat your caster level as 4 higher when determining the duration of your spell's cast. Bloodline intensity, competent caster. You automatically succeed at concentration checks to cast arcane spells. Okay, that's kinda sick. Coupled Arcana. Whenever you spend a standard action, move action, or swift action to activate an arcane school power, bardic performance, bloodline power, hex, or magus arcana, you can also activate an ability that uses mythic power as a free action. The mythic ability you activate must require the same action type as the other ability activated as a swift action. Okay, that's still...
BRB again, real quick.
Elemental bond. Energy conversion. Hold on. When you cast the spell with acid, cold, electricity, or fire descriptor, you can expend one use of mythic power to switch the. Okay, cool. Flash of missiles. I guess. Huh. Oh wait, yeah, we don't know which Archmage build he went for. Ooh. There's Arcane Powerless, Defensive Caster, Knowledge Master, Prepared
It is
Art,
time to die.
Spontaneous. Nah, there's no dying like with this now. We are not dying.
Oi.
We are not dying.
With confidence like that, fuck yeah, we are.
We are not dying. We've surpassed death, or at least Arcus has.
Yeah, you still die.
Yeah, I still die, but like, wait, we live on in Argus's heart, alright?
Listen, I would rather have Uthark walk, breathing, and living, and then die.
At least you should be glad that you get an afterlife, alright? Uthark gets an afterlife. Ethan doesn't, alright?
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't be a fucking monster then, huh? How about
Bro.
that?
Dude. But like, there are things that are more monsters than Ethan, and they have afterlives. Ethan doesn't get one.
Yeah, I wonder
Well,
why.
maybe
Who made Ethan?
Maybe Ethan should just get good and not have that many skill issues.
No skill issues, man.
Skill issue for being half.
Maybe you should have just followed a better belief for yourself.
It's not about belief, it's about what he is. He doesn't
Nah,
believe in
man.
gods.
Exactly, you should just lead a better path.
Start building an army, man. Start building,
Start worshipping Iomade? Is that what you said?
Yeah, start now, man.
No, Ethan doesn't worship shit. That's Azriel. Ethan is an atheist as far as we know. Well, not really atheist by the definition, because he does recognize that gods exist.
It is.
He just doesn't worship them.
So he's agnostic.
Yep. I guess so, yeah.
I mean, that would be the closest thing to it, I would guess.
Mm-hmm. We don't worship gods in this household. Sorry.
Bloodline intensity, huh?
Yeah. I wonder what build Ronan is gonna make him go for, or unless he has a choice. Does he have a choice?
Oh, wait, what the fuck?
He does? Okay.
I told him his path. He can do with it whatever he wants.
Okay. Damn. Whenever you get an Archmage tier, you gain 3 bonus hit points. These hit points stack with themselves and don't affect your overall hit dice or other statistics. Wait, what the fuck do they mean? These hit points stack and don't affect your overall hit dice. Oh wait, so it doesn't increase your hit dice, but it's just bonus hit points. Okay. So it's kind of like the thing that you get as like the favorite class ability.
Mm-hmm.
Class is the Archmage is the most common path selected path selection for characters capable of casting arcane spells, particularly sorcerers, wizards, bards, summoners, and witches will find that this path has a great deal to offer, though some other paths might also prove useful to them. Okay, cool. You roll as an Archmage. You use your abilities to add a great deal of power to your arcane spells, enabling them to blast through defenses and cripple foes. Your mastery over the arcane arts and your vast knowledge. Wait, hold on. So Argus just denied being a god and then just became a god. Huh.
Mythic characters are not gods.
But it's as close as you can get legally.
No.
Really? Wait, is there like a god template out there?
Yeah.
There's a god template?
No.
I searched for a god template, well, at least in PC Gen, not in D20 PFSRD, but I didn't find one.
There are templates you can apply.
Okay. Wait, hold on, let me search up God template.
There's no one god template. There's like different types of things. There's like prophets, messiahs. There's like
Okay.
there's a bunch of different things.
Ooh. Let's see. Ghost, Graveborn, half celestial. I guess the celestial technically counts as a god template.
Like celestials are not gods. Celestials are
Oh.
celestials.
Oh,
So what's the celestial man?
yeah.
Not a god.
Let's see. What's the highest CR adding? Whispering,
What the fuck?
walking.
What the fuck is Trooper Dino? We need to continue. I know he's excited because I just gave him the holy grail of D&D of Pathfinder. But
There's a template literally just called unknown. What the fuck is this?
It's the unknown template, man. I don't know what you're on.
There's unknown, man. Unknown creature, unseelie creature, swarm-blooded creature. Okay. Wait, does this affect Argus's CR in any way? Amalgam creature. Divine Guardian. God-blooded. I think I found some that's a little text to confirm. That's not a template. That's a race. Holy creature, there we go. Grace.
Hola, I'm back.
okay. So we're all ready?
Yep.
Pretty sure.
So make sure to add those things, Super Dino.
One mythic tier, Archmage path, right?
Mm-hmm. The rest is
Got
up
it.
to you.
Cool beans.
Okay, so you find yourself back in the garden, the place where the estate, in Kairos' estate, and so you feel as if something inside you has awoken, in a way. Like you feel that now limits that seem distant are much, much more approachable. You seem to be able to do things that you were not able to. It's almost as if a light bulb just clicked inside your head and turned on. And now you feel much more whole. You feel this deeper connection to the things that are around you. And you feel this incredible kind of like sensation of longing for the desert, for your home. But at the same time, you know you have a duty. But at some point, you would like to go back to the desert.
Oh yeah. I'll write that down. Okay. I call it Chrysis.
At this point, basically, Chrysis shows up. And within your body, you can feel almost as if parts of your body also manifest portions of Chrysis. As if parts of Chrysis are now not just in your hand, but in your entire body.
Well then. That was interesting. Things have changed.
You basically see now Chrysis go out of your body in a very kind of like dog-sized centipede. Yeah, this is cool.
Oh shit!
You
can
may
go out
now
on your
add you may now add a medium-sized centipede as your familiar.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn.
We get to interact with Chrysis directly now?
Oh fuck! How do I add a familiar?
Holy
I'll
shit.
figure that out. I'll figure that out in a minute.
Granted by the DM.
Okay.
You can use the granted by GM,
GM
special
awards.
part of the of PC Gen to give yourself a regular familiar. It's not an improved familiar or anything. It's just a regular familiar
Okay.
that
gotcha.
doubles as your black blade. Be mindful of the fact that in order for you to call upon your black blade, you need to be in contact with the familiar or in reach of the familiar.
Right. Okay.
So keep that in mind. It's not that Chris is 5 miles away and you can call it back and boom, there you go.
Right.
So he looks at you and looks like, yeah, this is cool. And he looks at himself, tiny bit smaller,
A bit.
boss. It is smaller, bit.
Yeah.
And you see Chris is, you feel him kind of like stretching. Oh, this is just too cool. And you see him basically kind of like wrapping around a lamppost. Try casting something. Put it on me.
Okay. Oh. Argus casts. I'll cast Arcane Mark.
You see the icon mark forming in the lamppost as Chris is just detached from it and looks at it.
Oh.
Nods.
That changes things a bit.
So given your unique connection with Chris's, you can deliver spells through Chris's without actually, touching him first to be able to deliver it.
Okay.
However, the spells you deliver through Chris's cannot contain any meta magic feats.
Okay, gotcha.
Your secret is kind of like go back into your body, almost like as if it basically run towards you, jump and turn into the cane in your hand. As you basically almost unconsciously just grab it. You didn't even propose to intend to grab it. Your arm just moved forward and just grabbed the cane.
This is amazing.
At this point, the rest of you kind of like are getting towards the entrance, and you felt that Argus fell a little bit back, and you look at him and you see him with his cane in his hand and just, laughing.
You good, Argus?
I'm great. Chris, just turn back into the centipede real quick.
Chris is kind of like turns back into the centipede and crawls above on your shoulder. And what you see is basically a small dog-sized centipede that is stretching across Argus's shoulder, like both shoulders. And you see he's kind of like the upper part of Chris's body is standing over Argus's right shoulder. Hi, dickheads.
What the?
Wait, we can talk to you now?
What the hell?
Not you.
Not me? Damn. Shit. Well, at least we can hear the shit talk firsthand.
You hear inside your head, Argus. He doesn't know, but no. I hear, yeah, sure.
Argus just nods along.
What happened? Could you always do this?
No, it was kind of sudden. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of an.
All of you make a perception check.
Yeah, alright, let me make a
Perception, you got it.
19.
Give me 1 second.
9.
9, bro. Oh my god. Yeet. Alright, 27.
So basically, kind of like as you're looking at Argus from behind Argus, you do see the familiar figures of Kairos and the human form of the Emperor as they walk in. The Emperor looks at Argus. Your friend has awoken.
Yeah.
Awoken. How so?
Don't ask me, ask him.
Well, what does it mean to
And
be
he looks at
awoken?
Kairos and he looks at Kairos. Well, and he taps him on the shoulder. My job here is done. I leave the rest in your capable hands. Kairos
Wait,
looks at the
wait.
Emperor. Yes, my lord. And the Emperor turns back when you say wait.
Argus bows. Thank you so much.
Don't thank me. Do what you have to do.
You're not mine.
Argus, he nods. Understood.
You see you literally see the Emperor basically blink out.
Awoken, he said. What does that mean, Argus?
It was a crazy time. Does Argus look older?
No.
Okay. I had a chat with the Dragon Emperor. And then I
Wait, just now?
yeah, just a while ago. It was talked for a while. And then
For you, Argus is very off-putting because you feel as if literal decades passed where you were inside that place. But out here, only a few moments have gone by.
it felt like forever.
Are you sure you're good?
I kind of met Rovagog, I think.
The Forsaken
Maybe-
God?
He said he was.
God?
He was imprisoned.
Huh.
Yeah, it was in the. I was running through a desert, and I came across this temple. It was decrepit, in ruin, but it was beautiful. Went inside and explored a bit, and there was this massive, it's just area. It's just huge. It took me forever to get around it. A chasm in the middle, and there was a prison and chains. He offered me the power of gods, but it was terrifying. Anyways, long story short, I found Chrysis there as well, and I pulled him out of his prison. He's in a smaller room, and then I shot I shot lightning or a thunder at Rovagog and added a new chain to him. So
You
Yeah.
further shackled a god?
I think so. Maybe.
Is that what
Maybe
it means
just-
to be awoken?
Perhaps. I don't know.
Could Lawrence knowledge Arcana to see if this is like even remotely possible?
This is
Okay, yeah,
remotely
sure.
possible.
Let me give me a second. Arcana. Okay, +4. Double checking, yeah, +4.
By the way, Ronan, Chris is not Chris. Kairos is still here, right?
12.
Okay.
You do not know of anything that is even capable of scratching a god, let alone shackle it.
What the?
Being capable of shackling a god.
Yeah,
Huh.
it was
Chris is-
crazy.
And you said I was weird for calling you a wise old man? Dude, you're greater than that. What the fuck?
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I honestly have. It felt like forever, though. At one point, I was stuck in this room. I couldn't see anything, hear anything. I was stuck in there forever. I didn't even think about it. I can sense Chris's. I've just never thought about it before. I know which direction he's in. It doesn't matter. Rovagug did promise to kill me and consume this world. So, but he's shackled.
Are you able to still add more shackles right now? Is that a possibility?
I don't think I want to go back there right now. Or maybe ever? I don't. It was whatever. When I was walking towards the place, I was in a desert. I don't know if this was the actual physical location of it or if this was something else. But something's pulling me towards the desert.
I see.
I feel like I have to go back. Some other time, though. Yeah, we have more important business at hand, of course.
Yeah. Still, I would not really like to delve with more gods, really.
Well,
And the end of the matriarch is already enough, at least I would think.
yeah, I don't blame you. Rovagug was really scary. I didn't see him.
Within the span of just saying goodbye to Kairos and walking towards the guest house, you've fucking turned to this.
At this point, Kairos looks at you, Ethan. Kind of like he throws something. Sleep on it. And you just throw something to you. Make a reflex saving throw.
Oh, okay. Who's throwing this at me?
Kairos.
Kairos? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 12 on my reflex.
Okay, so you kind of like, it's dark because it's the evening. You kind of like, you try and catch it and it's kind of like bouncing between your hands, but you're able to finally land what's in your hand and you open it and it's like a crystal, like a black and purple crystal.
Wait, is this the thing that came from me?
Sleep on it. And kind of like smirks and just goes back.
Did he mean that literally? Ethan like whispers kind of to himself.
Maybe? I don't. I have no idea.
Put it under your under your pillow, I guess, Ethan?
I was thinking I could implant this in my crown, but
Try it right now.
try it right now.
What's the worst that could happen? I don't know. He told you to sleep on it. Maybe just sleep on it.
Yeah, okay, I'll sleep on it.
Yeah, you just put it under your bed, man.
Actually, I wanted to try
Under your pillow.
one little thing. Now that Kairos is kind of gone. Argus, would you care to be a volunteer?
For what?
It's a little thing that I discovered that I may be able to do that allows me to swap places with another thing. I'm testing it this house for the first time, so only if you want to. Or anybody else, Devon, Lawrence, Uthark, anybody up for it?
Okay, sure, why not?
Alright, Argus.
I think I'll pass.
So, Ethan is gonna attempt. He's clueless. I know he's clueless, but he's gonna attempt to visualize his shadow stretching out to Argus, and then him swapping positions with him.
With Argus?
With Argus.
So you kind of like think of it like a will save.
Alright. Me or Argus?
You.
Okay, cool. Is it mind affecting?
Yeah, very mind affecting.
Alright, cool. 15.
So, as you basically think, you kind of like extend your hand a little bit. You feel as this weird sensation, this whispering in your head. As you begin to see these whispers begin to crawl back in. Suggest you lower the music volume a little bit.
Okay.
You increase it, sorry, you raise it.
I raised it.
Raise the music volume.
Yep, I did.
So, kind of like feel that as for a second, you are not in the gardens anymore. You find yourself at the large forest familiar already to you. There is the silhouette of like the castle you've been a couple times, like off in the distance. From like in between the trees. You look around, make a perception check.
Oh, it's 22.
Okay. So you kind of like look and you see some of the familiar motes of darkness, leaning from the tree, looking to you, hiding again. The whispers come over. It's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. He's here. He's here. Make a will save.
Assuming mind affecting again?
This one is not mind affecting.
Okay. That's a 20.
Okay. From beneath your body, you see one single stretch of shadow. It's almost as if your shadow deforms. Another one. You see now the shadowy figure standing before you. The shadowy figure takes shape slowly. It twists and it turns, the crackling of bone. You feel that in your own body, your back burns. You take
Oh no.
3 points of fire damage as the gem in your hand singes. However you're capable of holding it, you kind of keep it still. You hold it still in your hand. As you just, but you hold it, you don't let it go. The body takes full shape and looks down to you. With the familiar face of Nosferatu, Alterio, Baron, however you want to call him, as he's looking at you. You really shouldn't have done that, my boy. Points a finger towards you. Make a fortitude saving throw.
I thought I got away from this dude. Let's see. Alright. That is a 12.
So, basically, as you kind of like thinking for a moment, what should I do? You feel your entire body paralyzed. As if you can't move. As you look beneath you, the shadow that was stretching and continues to be stretched and connecting you to the Baron has also now almost materialized out of the floor and is shackling you to it. You see things embracing your hands, your knees, your waist, and one of these kind of like shadowy protrusions wraps you around the neck, holding you very, 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 very tight.
Ethan is gonna attempt to free himself by, I don't know, clawing at these things that are trying to hold him or whatever the fuck.
So how are you freeing yourself exactly?
He's trying to pull them away from him. Gonna push them away.
Okay, make a strength check.
Alright. I got a 20.
Okay, so you kind of like try to rip those things away from you. You're able to rip some of them, but not all of them, as more begin to crawl up your body. The second you rip through or free, more of them crawl up to you. Nosferatu looks at you. You're not going to escape this time. And he kind of like extends his hand, and when he extends his hand, you extend your hand as well. He kind of like clenches his fist and forms a scythe. But the scythe doesn't form in his hand, even though you sense it that way. It forms in your hand. As you basically form a scythe. You see Nosferatu take his basically make a gesture with his hand as you do the same thing, and you take the scythe towards the base of your neck.
Ethan
will save.
attempts to. Okay, I was gonna say Ethan attempts to unsummon the scythe, like he usually does with his weapons. Also, is this will save mind affecting?
Make a will save, it's not mind affecting. From now on, if I say a will save, it's not mind affecting.
All right, 21.
So, you kind of like hold really tight, fighting against your own hand as you see the scythe almost about to pierce your neck. You resist it, you resist it, you resist it. And you think about dispelling it, and it just goes away. But the second it goes away, your hands go limp again. And Nosferatu looks at you. The hard way then. And you see as from Nosferatu's own body, 5 shadows emerge, all surrounding you. They elevate. From their hands, these blade-like protrusions appear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are now helpless. So I'm gonna roll. Oops, sorry.
Am I able to get out of their grip? Oh, well, too late.
You take 82 points of damage,
Oh,
as that is an
Yeah.
automatic crit.
I am down with an extra. Hold on. 40 minus 2. I'm at minus 42. That is 1 HP away from outright killing me.
Okay. So you feel all of these things compress onto you. A second. So, all these blades go into you as you begin to profusely bleed out, and you immediately go blank. You wake up. You are in a weird kind of like out-of-body experience. Make a perception check.
14.
14. You find yourself in like what looks to be like a very luxurious place. It's not the castle, is nothing you've seen before or that you remember even. You see a little boy standing in the room. He's got what looks to be a stiletto in his hand.
Does he look like Ethan?
In a way, it resembles Ethan enough, yeah.
Ethan?
And you see him, as you say Ethan, you see him literally just stab his own heart with the stiletto, pulls it out. You see him open his eyes really big, stabs again. Second time, third time, stabs himself.
Ethan's
at
gonna
least
try
half a
and go
dozen
to him and
times.
stop him from stabbing himself.
You kind of like go, make a will save.
Alright. That is a 15.
Okay, so you kind of like, when he's going to stab one more time, you kind of like grab his hand and you see him kind of like stop. He looks to his body, he's bleeding. You see a tear as it runs through one of his cheeks. He drops the stiletto and just falls on his knees and just begins to cry. At this point, you hear door is opening. You look back. You see Nosferatu walking into the room, looking at Ethan. He looks back, really, really scared. There's fear, palpable fear in his face. He takes the stiletto back, and in one fell swoop, he rips his throat out, falling completely limp on the ground.
Wait, Nosferatu's doing that to himself or to Ethan?
No, Ethan is doing that to himself.
Oh,
As he's falling limp, Nosferatu kind of like walks forward. What a waste.
you did this.
And you see him basically touch Ethan as one of the shadows of his body extends forward and envelop Ethan as Ethan's body sinks into the shadow. Make a will save.
That is a 16.
So, Nosferatu turns around, walks to the door. What do you do?
Wait, he took Ethan with him in some kind of shadow meld bullshittery?
You don't know.
Oh, okay. Is the stiletto on the ground?
The stiletto, yes.
Alright, Ethan's gonna grab the stiletto and try to run up and stab Nosferatu in his back, like near where his heart would be.
You run up and you try to stab him. You basically go through his body. You grab the stiletto, you stab, you go through the body.
Is he still there standing when I go through him?
He just continues to walk almost as if you're not even there.
Ethan calls at him to stop.
You yell. He doesn't hear. He just continues to walk away. Now out the door and into whatever place.
Ethan follows through the door.
You walk through the door. Then as you follow through the door, make a perception check.
Perception check. That is a 25.
Okay. So, you kind of like walk through the door and suddenly the entire place changes. You're in a similar, in terms of like style and decoration, place. Very lavish, very heavily decorated. However, this time you're standing in a bedroom. Big canopy bed onto the end of the room. You see, a bunch of people around the bed. And in there, you hear the screams of a woman as she's about to give birth.
So,
Do you see her going through the pains of labor? What are we going to ask?
what do these people look like they're wearing? Does it look like they're wearing priest or like clerical kind of clothing, or?
No, they just look. They look like servants. They're
Servant.
wearing servants.
Okay. Ethan approaches them and like pushes them aside.
As soon as you touch one, your hand goes right through them.
Alright. Then Ethan goes through and sees what the fuck is going on there.
You see a woman in her late 20s, maybe early 30s, holding on to like essentially what looks to be two sheets that have been hung from the top of the canopy bed down, and she's pushing really hard. You see her belly is inflated as she's kind of like pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing.
Does Ethan
She's going through
recognize
tremendous
this
amount-
woman or the people around?
You don't recognize the woman, she's your mother.
Oh. And then the people
That's
around he
pushing.
doesn't recognize, right?
I mean, the people around you've never seen them.
Oh.
And she's pushing and she's pushing and she's pushing. And then a while goes back and out of her womb comes a little baby. She holds her in her arms and she looks at him. And you see her basically as she, on her chest, she grabs what looks to be some sort of like symbol and she mutters a prayer as she's touching you. You You see light coming from her hand as she's touching the baby's forehead. She smiles. She kind of like looks at the rest of the people. She looks very decrepit. She looks very spent, very tired. She kind of like hands the baby to one of the servants, and she just falls on her own bed, limp. You kind of like stand yourself a bit straight. Make a fortitude saving throw.
Okay. 15.
Okay. Your legs give in from underneath you. You feel this incredible sensation of pain, but you've witnessed your mother die. But it feels real. Almost as if it's something that whatever happened, it also happened to you. The baby begins to cry very loudly in the arms of the servant. And the door opens towards the back of the room, or the entrance of the room. And in walks the familiar figure of Nosferatu in his human form, followed by what looks to be a 13-year-old boy.
Ethan is gonna make a scythe, the ones with the usual enchantments, Keen and Icy Burst, and attempt to attack Nosferatu.
Scythe, nothing comes out.
Huh. Alright, then I'm gonna attempt to regain a Shadow Surge.
The attempt to regain a shadow surge, nothing happens. As these two walk into the room, you see him walk to the edge of the bed. He looks at the baby, kind of like caresses the baby's forehead. Smiles. Looks at the corpse of your mother. Kind of like takes a deep breath. As you see the shadows once again forming in the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 6th one forms. As the servants who are in the room kind of like look panicked, looking, darting their eyes from side to side. On unison, the shadows stabbed all of the servants. 1, 2, 3, several times until they're all very dead. Your brother Ethan is standing there. He looks up to Nosferatu. He looks down, nods. You see this otherworldly smile forming onto Ethan's small body. There's this just giant jaw undoes itself, this monstrous face, as he literally begins to feed on your mother's corpse. Nosferatu's there watching everything. As he goes over to each and every one of the dead servants, and their bodies are all absorbed back into the shadow.
Ethan is just standing there speechless for like a second, but then he tries to go to Ethan and pull him off of his mother.
You try and grab Ethan, make a will save.
Alright. That is a 10.
Okay. So you try to grab Ethan and you find purchase, but something rejects you, like you cannot touch him. And then you do it again and you just go through him. As he's basically eating. You do it several times as he's basically eating your mother, like he's just biting her and eating her. And you kind of like try to take him out of that, but you can't. At some point you sense something, as if something begins to dart around the room. Make a perception check.
11.
Okay, kind of like look around. At first, you don't find anything. However, you look at your father that is now holding the baby in his arms. The little umbilical cord just recently cut. And you see this little mote of darkness shifting around the room, completely unseen by Nosferatu, as that little mote of darkness basically attaches itself to the remnants of the umbilical cord that is still attached to like the baby, and you see it literally crawl inside of it, or crawl inside of the baby. At this point, you turn back around, and what looks to be your brother takes a bite out of your mom's head, skull and everything. He looks back at almost like an animal at Nosferatu. Smile on his face, everything filled with blood. Smiles, and you see Nosferatu kind of like pet Ethan. Not like you would pet a human, like you would pet an animal. I'll leave you to it then. And you see Nosferatu walk outside of the room carrying the baby in his arms. As you're standing there, Ethan continues to eat the body of your mother. You try several times to kind of like peel him off, do something, but you can't.
Ethan's gonna look at the gem that is in his hand. Is it still there?
Yep, you're still holding it.
He's gonna... Does he still have his crown too?
You feel your crown, but the crown is not out. No,
Alright, Ethan brings out his crown.
you can't.
You can't? Alright, damn it. Huh. Then... I don't know. The Nosferatu already walked out of the room, right?
Yep.
Fuck. Ethan runs after Nosferatu outside of the room.
As you run outside of the room, you kind of like look back, and you basically and audibly hear your brother burp as he's finished eating your mom, and all that remains on the canopy bed is just this giant splatter of blood. As you look back, he gets off the bed, and you see his bones crackling. As you're running out, you do see as his hair begins to grow a little bit.
Bro?
And you exit the room. Make a will save.
Alright. 11.
Okay. So this time you kind of like walk in, and it's just an empty, dark space. You hear what looks to be like a weird, twisted lullaby off in the distance. And you kind of like look around and you find nothing. You feel hopeless, as if there's nothing you can do.
Am I still in this house or whatever the fuck it is, corridors, hallway?
I don't know. Can't see anything. You can see yourself, but that's it. It's just empty void.
Ethan sits down in the void, if he's even able to sit down like on the ground.
Yeah, you sit down.
And just stares off at the literal, like, endless nothingness around him.
Okay.
He tries to recall where the fuck he was just before all this happened, which was him and Argus, and he attempted to use this shadow transposition.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to maybe envision himself being there again as a way to see if he can escape what's going on around him.
You look, it's just empty void.
It's empty void. Alright. So,
You hear this weird song in the background. It's like a hum, almost like a It's a hum, but it doesn't look right. It's almost as if it's not being hummed by a person.
Can I tell the direction?
Make a perception check.
All right. Oh shit! That's supposed to be +7, so that's 19.
The direction is basically the lullaby is right where you are, or rather in the immediate vicinity of where you are, but you cannot see anything.
Ethan's gonna walk towards it then. He's gonna get up and walk towards it.
You do not know exactly the place. It's it's all around the immediate vicinity.
Oh. Okay. It's all around the immediate vicinity. What am I supposed to do? Ethan. He's just gonna walk forward then.
You walk forward, and you continue to walk forward.
He's gonna keep walking forward, and along his way, he's gonna, I don't know, attempt to regain a shadow surge once more to see if anything has changed.
You attempt to regain a shadow search, nothing happens.
Okay.
Actually, the weird thing is you keep walking, but the soundscape doesn't change. The lullaby seems to be right there, even though you cannot make out exactly from where. The place itself, it's again like it's just a void. You feel that you're walking forward, but the surroundings are not changing at all.
Ethan calls out Ethan's name. See if he gets any response.
I will save.
Say, okay. All right, there we go. 15.
Yep. You call out for your brother's name. I prefer if you were to role play it rather than tell me as
sorry.
if it was a JRPG.
Ethan!
You basically feel as something touches your shoulder.
Yeah, Ethan looks back.
You see your brother there, like, you called?
But you're here? The fuck is this? I thought... What? I attempted to use the thing that you gave me. But... I guess it was a trap from Nosferatu? I don't know.
Oh, basically you're asking someone who does not know a fuck about anything. I'm supposed to be dead. So... I might very well be your head going completely fucking nuts.
Huh.
And I am just like an embodiment of that.
Maybe, but did you see what I saw? You were eating mom. And
I didn't eat mom. That was not me. That looked like me, but it wasn't me.
and what was it?
Well, whatever mom is right now, or
Huh?
whatever is pretending to be her, I'm guessing.
Do you have any idea what it could be, other than that it's something
I was
pretending?
13 when we died. Or when I died. What do you think? I know everything now?
I don't know. Definitely know more than me. Or at least...
No! All I know is that that thing was not me.
Alright.
Or is not me.
Then, do you have any idea where the fuck we might be right now?
Oh, it's inside your head. That much is fucking certain.
Huh. Then, how do we get out of this? Or is there a way at all?
Oh, great question. Great question. Yeah, sure. I know the answer. Me, your dead brother, knows the answer.
Alright, well... Fuck it.
Think. Think.
There's humming. We're in an empty void. I can't use my abilities.
Have a weird fucking rock in your hand.
Oh, I do have the rock in my hand, but I have no idea how to use it. Well... Ethan is gonna...
Well, whatever that shit is, it looks a hell of a lot like Ombre.
Well, I don't know how to fucking use Umbrite. That's the. The only time that I've ever used Umbrite was to attempt to make something, and it did make something, but fuck it. I'll try it again. I'll see if that does anything here. Ethan is gonna try to do whatever the fuck he did in front
Just
of Master
walking.
Rowe.
Beats walking.
All right. Well, Ethan tries what he did in front of Master Rome to see if it does anything here.
Describe exactly what you're doing.
Alright, he's gonna attempt to use his darkness or his magic on the rock to create any kind of effect that he could, whether it be materializing something or just to see if he can do anything with it.
Okay, so you basically kind of like focus and you try to channel your power through this stone. You focus, and eventually, once you do that, the entire room begins to materialize out of your shadow. Almost as if your shadow stuff is creating things, but instead of being the color of shadow stuff, they're just like vivid and real. As the entire room opens up. You see your mother or someone or something that looks like it in this small place back in Alba. Your house, as she's rocking a small cradle. And she looks at you. And at some point you see just this weird kind of like serpentine maw form as she begins to literally drool, looking at you. And you see basically that she kind of like holds herself, kind of like, composes herself. She takes away the drool and she continues to rock the cradle, visibly avoiding looking at you as she's rocking it.
Mother? Is that you?
You hear no reply.
Huh. I know you can hear me. You did just look at me a few seconds ago.
She looked at the baby, you moron, and you hear she
sorry.
was kind of walking behind it.
Oh,
She looked
okay,
at the
shit, my
baby, you
bad.
moron.
Sorry, my bad. I guess
I know it's a
same
bit.
things.
I know it's a bit weird. I mean, this whole thing is fucking disgusting, but it's a bit weird. But she was looking at the baby, you moronic idiot.
Well,
She can't hear you. Mom, you're a bitch. See, she can't hear you.
well,
Whatever you are, we're gonna kill you. You know that, right?
huh.
See, she can't hear us.
Then Ethan walks up to the cradle, looking down at it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ethan, is that me? Or is that supposed to be me down there?
Well, unless Mom had a third baby, I don't know. That probably should be you.
Alright, so if I'm putting things together right, and this is just me throwing darts at nothingness, clearly, I guess we might be re-experiencing the things that I did go through, or we went through, but through some, okay, I guess third-person perspective, and we're not able to affect it any other way, unless using this gem, or this umbrite, and... Alright. Ethan is gonna use the stone to try and change the scene back to the forest.
Okay, you kind of like focus. You change the scene. You focus into your gem. Make a will save.
Alright. 23.
Okay. So once again, the shadow stuff begins to emanate. You focus, and through the stone, you kind of like change the entire scene. The house at this point melts in on itself. The figure of your mom, the cradle, the baby, they just melt into shadow stuff as the scenery extends even further. trees begin to form out of shadow stuff, and you're back in the forest. Your brother was like, that's a neat trick.
So we're
So,
able.
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. So far, it just seems to be useful for moving around in this place or changing this place. So unless I figure out what the fuck this place is, I mean, I'm assuming it's the plane of shadows or tied to it.
No, let me tell you what this is. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to repeat this because, again, I am. Anyway, this is your fucking subconscious that has somehow taken material form within a pocket dimension within the plane of shadows.
Okay. And this gem allows me to change it?
Yeah. I don't know what the gem is doing. I don't know what the gem is doing. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
I don't know either.
I don't know what the gem is doing. But my question is, what you gonna do about this? And he kind of like points at you, he's like, you got more holes sticking out of you than a goddamn pincushion.
Ethan is gonna try and use the gem to fix himself, to try and reform himself.
So you channel it, and you see as your wounds heal. All the stabbing you've received from the shadows heal themselves. And looks at you and goes like, Ethan looks at you and goes, okay, now that's different.
Yeah? Huh. Alright, Ethan is gonna use the gem to try and manifest his crown again.
Use the gem, the crown manifests again.
I see. Alright. By the way, is Ethan in a proper physical form around me, or is it just the shadowy thing that he used to be?
Oh, Ethan, he seems perfectly normal.
Seems perfect. Okay. Huh. Okay. So I can heal myself. I can change anything that I want to change within this place using this stone. But can I use it to change anything else? Hold on, I'm gonna try something. Ethan is gonna try and change the scene to him back where he was with Argus and the rest of the group at the Kairos estate.
Okay, so you think. Once again, the thing goes completely into shadow stuff. And you go back, and you change the entire scenery back to the Kairos estate. Make a will save.
Alright. That is a 16.
Okay. You manage to change everything back to like the Kairos estate. And you're kind of like standing there.
Huh? Alright. Ethan looks
With
around, see if the group are actually there, or if they're, you know, maybe just figments of his imagination.
They seem to be talking to each other.
They're talking to each other. He's gonna try and listen in to see what they're saying.
You kind of like listen in, but you don't make up any words.
Alright. Ethan is gonna change the scene so that he's standing where Argus was standing, and Argus is standing where he's standing.
Okay, you change it that way. Argus melts into shadow stuff. You kind of like walk to where Argus was, and you make Argus again in another place.
Is this how you did it, Ethan? Or is this different?
What are you talking about?
There's switching place bullshit, right?
What are you trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to mimic it as best as I can.
What for? You're trapped within your own fucking brain. I mean, isn't the answer, or isn't the thing you should be doing trying to get out of it?
Yeah. But I'm trying to understand it before.
Don't me. I'm dead. I'm not even here. I'm just a figment of your fucking imagination because you're going fucking nuts.
Yeah, that might be true, but I'm trying to understand this place and everything before I'm able to leave. Before even I know how to leave.
You're trying to test a new fucking... How dumb can you... You haven't even fucking figured out what the fuck this place is in to begin with.
I mean, you did say subconscious thing that I made within some demi-plane within a pocket within the plane of plane of shadows, some bullshit like that. Either way,
Sense of yourself. Do you ever listen to yourself? Okay, stop, think, word for word. Try to form a coherent sentence, one word at a time.
I can.
Come on.
All right, here, fine. As you said, this is a pocket dimension that my subconscious made within the plane of shadows. Now, how the fuck do I escape it? I don't know just yet. Maybe if I envision myself being out of it, that's as best as I can fucking make up right now. Do I ask the gem? What the fuck do I do?
Ask the gem? It's a fucking gem.
Alright, well, Ethan's gonna... I did try imagining myself being in this place again. Didn't change much. They're not here. I'm not there.
Of course not, JD. You're inside your own fucking head.
Alright. Well, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck do I get out of my head.
That's the question.
Exactly. And that's why I'm experimenting to see how this thing works, in case I can find some way to get out. You know what? Fuck it here. I'm gonna pull this bullshit. Ethan is gonna try to imagine a door that could maybe lead him out.
Okay. So you kind of like imagine a door and that will lead you out.
Yep.
The fabric of reality itself around this place basically cracks and opens, creating this weird kind of like slit in space. And Ethan looks at it like, that's more like it.
Well, it's the next best thing that I could do after imagining this place. Ethan walks through.
As you basically try to walk through, you feel the shackles, the shadows shackling your entire body, preventing you from moving forward.
Wow.
You cannot go through the door.
Can't walk through it.
You walk through it, you can't.
Oh, no, I said I can't, yeah, that's what I said.
You hear a voice now next to your ear. Of course you can't. I'm still here. You turn your head and you see Nosferatu looking at you.
Ethan is gonna use the gem to get rid of Nosferatu, I guess. Imagine him not there, kinda erase him.
Make a will save.
Alright. That is a 10.
He smiles. Ever dependent on your toys. Like a child. But that's not gonna send me away.
Huh?
You have gotten rid of your fears, but the question is, are you truly rid of them? Are you truly free from your own fears? Are you truly free from your own dependence on your gift, on your pathetic mimicry of power?
I don't know about that. I mean, I've always been using this darkness. I've always done these things. It's a deep-rooted thing in me. I find a tool and I use it.
One thing is to use it, another one is to be dependent on it.
Maybe you're right. But then again, you could just be something that I made in my own head. I don't know if you're the real thing or not. Whether you say you are or not.
So of your imagination.
Wait, Ron, I didn't hear that. That kind of cut off at the start.
We are all figments of your imagination.
All right. Well.
And you see from behind Nosferatu's back your brother step in. All you have to do is let go.
Let go of the gem?
All you have to do.
I'm gonna send
your mother, and you see your mother stepping back from Nosferatu to the other side. All you have to do is embrace yourself. Just let go.
Huh. Let go. You know what? Fuck it. Ethan's gonna give it a shot. He's gonna attempt to. He's gonna drop the the gem on the ground.
You drop the gem on the ground. Nothing happens.
Let go. Huh. What is that even supposed to mean in this context?
What?
Ethan is saying that out loud.
What is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear? Well, not being able to bring out what I truly want in reality. Not being able to make the difference that I wanted to make. That my crown is worthless. That my...
And what difference would that be?
Well, to the rest of the world, nothing. But to me, it's everything. I'd lose my identity.
So you think that your crown and all of this is your identity?
I mean, kind of.
You think that what you have is a gift? You think that you are defined by what you can do instead of by who you are?
What defines a person other than their actions, what they can do?
Certainly not their power.
Well, what I want to do is not create a new reality. Not like a certain person. What I want to do is create a new order. Something to change our current, or the current reality, not by deleting it, not by erasing it, not by remaking it, but changing the future rather than the past. That's the, if that's what you mean by who I am, then that's what it is.
How can you even begin to think of that if you cannot even change yourself? You don't have the will, you don't have the power, you don't have the courage to just let go.
Never known how to let go, at least not at least anything that's other than the literal sense of letting go.
You do know, you're just too afraid to admit it.
Alright. Ethan is gonna attempt whatever this letting go thing is. He's not gonna use his abilities. He's not gonna focus on getting a Shadow Surge. He's not gonna think of getting a weapon. He's just gonna let go, I guess.
They all look at you. What are you trying to do?
I don't know what I think letting go is.
You don't even know what we're talking about, do you?
No, I don't.
And that is why you cannot grow. That is why you were meant to be harvested. That is why you were meant to be consumed.
Ethan's gonna pick up the gem again.
Okay.
And the door's
Come on.
still there, right?
The door is still there. Yeah, the door is behind you. It's basically 10 feet away from where you are.
Ethan's gonna try to knowledge planes to understand why the fuck he can't go through the door and get out to reality.
Yeah, sure, roll it.
Alright. That is a 4. He got a 10 on his knowledge planes.
Okay. So, nothing in planar existence will help you to know who you are.
Alright. How do I begin to understand myself? How do I begin to understand myself? Maybe what I like, what I hate? But what do I hate? Well, I hate Nosferatu now.
No.
I hate the people in the village. I hate those who belittle me. What do I like?
Who belittled you?
Hmm?
Who belittled you? See your brother kind of like, who belittled you?
Who belittled me?
Yeah.
Well, I've always felt that the people hating me and
What
in
are these
Alba.
people? You speak in such abstract terms. What are
All
these
right.
people that hate you?
Back in Alba,
Mm-hmm.
the villagers at least, they
Uh-huh.
had rumors going around
Mm-hmm.
that I was the son of a vampire, and of course they were true. But because of that, their prejudice against me had me driven out from being around them. I couldn't be around them. They wouldn't treat me as one of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that as the world belittling me, saying that I'm not worthy in being part of it, that I'm not worthy joining in the rest of the fun that everybody was having, the rest of their experiences, that I wasn't supposed to do so, that I was lesser.
Don't you have friends now?
Now I do. But before,
Why think the entire world is against you then?
because to me, back then, that was the entire world.
But now it isn't?
And now it isn't. I left.
Then why don't you just let go?
I guess maybe I still have some vengeance, something, a sense of revenge.
So now you are Mr. Vengeance. Really?
Maybe. I mean, if I did, it's not something that I'm aware of, or maybe something that I've been pushing back, something that I didn't want to be.
You see the figure of Damien stepping from behind this group of 3 people. So let me get this straight. You have a stick so far up your ass that you actually think you are Vengeance.
Not vengeance itself, but that I have something against them, and of course I do. But that I want to enact it, that I want to get rid of them, but I avoid it, so
you
knowing that it's
just
the
want
wrong
to
thing
kill
to
them
do.
all? You want to kill them just because they hated on you?
Well,
Just because they were afraid of something they couldn't understand?
I mean, me back then, probably, but I've avoided doing so. I didn't want to do so. I know that it's the wrong thing to do, and so I strayed
Still,
away
you
from
think
them.
about it.
Yeah, I
Let
thought
it go. Let go.
Yeah. What can I do? Forgive them? I guess.
Let go of your hatred. Let go of all of those shackles that bind you. Let go. Be yourself. Stop thinking of grandeur and those delusional thoughts. Live in the moment. Enjoy things. Be happy. Have a life for a change. You see your brother saying, I didn't sacrifice myself so that you would basically stay the same. Let go.
Then I guess I forgive them.
Oh, really? You forgive them. And you just
guess
want us
so.
to believe that just because. We are inside your head. In order for you to be able to truly forgive, you have to let go. You have to grow.
All right. I realize.
If you were to have the power to enact change, and you see Nosferatu looking at you, what would you do?
If this ability to enact change was limitless, in that case, I would find whatever the fuck the answer is to letting go. That would be it.
You know the answer. Now the problem is, are you mature enough to realize it?
God, this is the most fucking confusing shit I've ever gone through. God. Okay. God. What do I do? Since Ethan somehow already knows the answer to letting go, he will let go.
He will let go.
You can't stand there.
He will forgive the people that had a prejudice against him. He would forgive, I guess, people in Alba that I guess bullied Damien. He no longer, he wishes to be neutral to all of this shit. To go back to just living in the moment. Doesn't want to think of the past, nor the future. No visions of the future. No grudges of the past. And only experience as things are for what they are. There we go.
You see your mom kind of like walk up to you. Listen to me.
Listening.
Letting go is not easy. It's not going to happen overnight. But sometimes, in order to keep moving forward, we have to release the past. We have to delete the past. We have to erase that which reminds us of the pain we've been through. Sometimes we just have to forget.
Forget. Then, how do I do that? Do I just distract myself until I eventually forget? It's not a thing that I can just do.
She looks around. I don't know, you'd think you could be able to do a lot of things in here.
I mean, the closest thing to forgetting is getting rid of all of you guys. This entire scene that I've created.
And then what?
Then what? Be left alone in the void? Perhaps? That's what I'm guessing I'd end up going.
Why would you guess that?
Why would I guess that? I mean,
Yeah.
it's because that's where I was before I figured out that the gem does shit.
Stop trying to think that things are like some sort of puzzle that you need to unravel all the time. Stop trying to think beyond what you can actually think. Stop pretending that you're better than what you actually are. Embrace yourself and let go of the things that hurt you.
Huh. Alright. But... Alright. I attempted before to change the scene to this. I attempted before to make a door to an exit. But then I was told to let go. But letting go is not easy, you said. And I know it isn't. I can see it isn't.
So frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, for me.
Alright. So what do you suggest, since you are just my subconscious?
I cannot show you the door. I cannot walk you through the door. I can show it to you.
And show it to me? He points.
Me, I've been showing it to you.
What do you mean you've been showing it to me?
Well, you hear your brother. Well, I mean, we're here, right?
Yeah, we are here.
No, like by we, I don't mean you. I mean we.
Oh.
So
Okay.
think, and let go.
Alright. Ethan is gonna somehow. He's not gonna use the gem to erase them, but to let go of their presences almost. To let go of what's going on over here. So instead of just outright changing the scene, he wants to let go of the scene or remove himself from the scene.
Okay, make a will save.
Alright. Got them. 14.
Okay, so you basically think how to let go. And mentally, you see all those horrible memories you just saw from your mom, you take them away. All of those horrible memories from your brother, you take them away. All of those horrible memories from Alba, you delete them. You envision yourself deleting them. All of those memories that you had with Nosferatu, all of that hatred, you delete it. The scene itself begins to peel off. The shadows peel off. The gem just evaporates. Everything melts. And there's this empty white space. And you see the motes of darkness up from the floor. They kind of like look at you. He's here. He's here. He's here. He's here. He's here. And you see one of the tiny little motes of darkness kind of like approach you, kind of extend their tiny little hands, and they grab yours. You hear in your head, the power of change is not the ability to, well, create new things. It's the ability to change the hearts of those others that can create it as well. That is the true power of change. So if you could change things, would you do it?
I guess the answer to that is yes.
Would you try, instead of changing things yourself, would you try to enact the change through others?
Act the change through others. Okay.
You alone cannot bear the weight of the world. Nobody can.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
Would you truly rely on others instead of trying to do everything by yourself?
Only those I trust. Those close to me.
You hear from behind you as a hand wraps your shoulder. Well, that's a start.
I mean, I have met people that I can trust.
That's a
It's a
start.
weird name, but the Mexicans is what they call themselves. Guys should be aware. You're in my head.
You
I
basically
guess-
feel the soothing presence of your mother kind of like walk to the other side, kind of like touch on your shoulder. Trust in others, my son. Let them help you. Don't rely on yourself. Don't hold all these burdens you bear on your own all the time. Rely on others. That is how you start to let go. Make a will save.
Alright. 12.
Okay, so At this point, you do see the figure of Nosferatu kind of like stand before you. How willing are you then? Let's find out. And he kind of like extends his hand. I'm going to roll it again. Give me a second. You take 44 points of damage.
Am I still at that, like, minus 40?
No, you healed yourself back to full using your brain.
Oh, okay, cool. Then, full as in full even without that permanent damage, or full including that permanent damage?
No, that permanent damage was still permanent.
Okay, cool. Then, with 44 points of damage, I am down to -1.
Okay. So he kind of like touches your, kind of like points at you, and you kind of like shunt it out of this place. As you go, basically your entire consciousness gets lifted, and you think on those things. And as you're kind of like diving deeper into this white chasm, the motes kind of like up from your body. So what is you want to do next?
For now, I want to return to my comrades, my allies, those that I trust.
And
I'm sorry, Ronan, your voice is still cutting off to me. I think you said anything else.
then
Then I'll talk to them about all of this. I'll tell them anything that I guess confess about everything that I've known so far, that I've done so far, that I've felt so far. Maybe that should help them trust me more, help me trust them more, or people around me more.
and then
And then I'll create a goal for me to set up. A goal for what I want to achieve. I mean, so far it's defeating the matriarchs, but I don't know what to do afterwards. Roam around, become a wandering traveler, doing nothing. I don't know. Maybe find some kind of job. I haven't thought as far as an end goal that doesn't have to do with the eclipse.
what eclipse? What eclipse? What eclipse?
That other delusion of grandeur that I had.
Let go, let go, let go.
Exactly. Well, I guess for now it's just being an adventurer, but defeating the matriarchs is the biggest goal here. And then afterwards, as I said, once that job is complete, I guess retiring, that's the best way I can put it. I can just retire.
Have fun, have fun, have fun.
Fun. I mean, I've been having fun for a while. I mean, we had some weird ass Kraken wine. That was pretty fun. Hallucinogenics can be pretty fun. Fucking hell. Not in that way. Huh. Yeah, I guess settle down somewhere, retire. I don't know where, haven't decided.
Go
Ada
home,
looks
go
cool.
home, go home, go home.
Do I even have a home?
We home, we home, we home, we home.
Are you talking about the castle? Is that home?
We home, we home, we home, we home.
Alright, so you motes of darkness are home, is what you're saying. Darkness is home? Is that what you're trying to imply?
We home, we home, we home, we home.
Well, I guess I'll go home. Once I finish defeating the matriarchs. Once we finish defeating the matriarchs, I guess.
Home, home, home. Let go, let go. And as the voice begins to crackle and more, you see more motes popping. The entire environment fills with these motes as they all begin to populate this space as you're falling. And then you kind of like stabilize a little bit on your fall and you kind of like land on your feet on this wide space. And one of them takes you by the hand. Home. Let go. Happy.
Ethan has like a little smile on his face as he he grabs the moat's hand. He's like,
Mhm.
all right then, lead me home.
The moats kind of like turn around and the entire scene changes back
Fuck.
to like the particular plane, the pocket dimension within the plane of shadows.
All right.
The distance, you see the castle closer to you as the gates open and you snatch back to reality as you're basically focusing and your shadow does not appear where Argus is in his place. It appears in a space that is empty adjacent to Argus.
Huh. My shadow. All right. And now I guess envision switching places with it.
So you kind of like envision switching places, and it's a weird sensation. When you envision switching places, you kind of like close your eyes for a second, and it's almost as if your brother kind of like gives you like a tap on the shoulder, and you immediately are switched. And you see the shadow appearing on one end, and you appearing on the other. And as you look back, the shadow just goes back down. Okay,
That was
Judas, congratulations. As you look at your hand, the gem basically just turns into ash, scattering itself to the wind. Congratulations. You may now add a mythic tier to your character.
what the.
Your particular path is the trickster.
All right.
You have ascended.
Huh.
Whoa! Yeah.
There is where we're going to leave today's session.
Jesus
That
Christ.
was a
I am
cheat.
like,
I don't know. I don't know whether to be glad or frustrated.
the fuck is letting go?
Let it go.
You dumb fuck.
Let
How do
it
I-
go.
Let
You
go.
have the stone, and you can always control the scene.
Yeah, I controlled the scene, but I did that
And it's your
before.
subconscious manifested physically in the shadow realm.
Holy shit.
Let it go.
God. Let go.
Fucking thick, dude. You need to unsmooth it. Add some wrinkles to it. All right, be right
You
back.
really need to unsmooth them.
Yeah, that's all right.
God,
It's a little confusing when you're in the thick of it. You feel a little
I
You
did
got
lost.
there at the end, and that's what matters.
I like it did whatever the fuck I could do.
Well, you didn't really. You just like, I'm gonna let go. Okay, well, what is we're
Yeah.
supposed to do with
How the
that?
fuck am I supposed to like?
I'm gonna let go.
Okay, explain to me how do you.
Okay, Jude. I get like it's a lot more difficult when you're like in the situation. But like, if you look back and you step back a little bit, you'll see a lot of the points pointing towards it. He said this is your subconscious, basically physically manifested in like a pocket realm in the shadow plane, right? So this is your subconscious physically in some reality. You have control over it. You can change the scene to however you want. They're telling you to let go of these memories. You have control over these scenes, over these memories, physical control.
Oh.
It kind of pointed towards that, but I know it's confusing when you're
Okay,
right there.
the way that I imagined this, right, is that when he changes scenes, he is deleting the previous one and making a new one.
Well, no,
So-
he's not. You never specified you were deleting them. You just said you were changing them.
Yeah, but he said that like they turn into some weird shadowy thing.
Well,
they
that
melt
doesn't mean
away.
that doesn't necessarily mean
Doesn't
they're
mean they're
deleted.
gone.
Yeah.
But like, let's say I did go back to the scene and then somehow let go, like deleted it. Like, how would that be any different from just changing the scene? It doesn't make
If you're
sense.
changing the scene, you're just changing it. You're not deleting it.
Oh.
It's like fast forwarding to the end of the movie. It doesn't delete
Okay.
It doesn't delete those frames from the beginning of the movie.
Just get the fucking
How
This
does
is-
it add a
it's-
mythic tier in PC Gen? How does this work?
Do you have the mythic? Do you have
a
the mythic
source?
source? Yeah, it's a
No, I don't.
source.
Let me
It'll
add-
add a new tab when you click on feet. It'll add a new tab underneath the feet tab.
Okay.
It'll be next to like MISC and class features.
Alright, dude, that was.
Read through everything when you get to the. Read through literally everything on the D20 page on mythic shit. You're gonna need it.
I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
this thing does. Give me a second.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. Just read through everything before you make a decision. That's all. Because
I tell you what, you're gonna be fucking spending a while.
these decisions are irreversible. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So really think about what you're going to pick. Really think about what you want to do. Read through everything you can pick at the beginning. Just dot your I's, cross your T's, basically. Yeah. Anyways.
Reload sources. Alright.
Let it go.
My God.
Let it go.
God, that hurt my head so much.
Yeah.
no,
Is there is there a specific